In recent years, Baldwin Games is coming up with very hot, well-designed games. And definitely designer Benjamin and Gilbert are the hottest designer right now. And when I heard Baldwin Games collaborating with them, definitely I get very excited. As a matter of fact, this is one of the most anticipated games of 2026. And now we have a weekend testing. Let's see how it plays, and I'll let you know what I think about it. The game comes with these four big boards, and these boards are double-sided, you can see over here. So you have plenty of combination to make. But to set up the games, you essentially take the four boards and make a 2x2 grid. And in any random combination, obviously you can change it if you really remember what you did it before. Then you have the scoring track over here, and you have the cheat cards over here. And to set up the game, you separate the pieces of one player color. Here you have the other stones of the other color, and then you take three cards of each of the four decks to make the starting deck over here. So we have three blacks, three whites, three blue, and three reds. We give it a shuffle, and then we give two cards to the first player and three cards to the second player. The aim of the game is to reach 25 points. Whoever does the first is the winner. Or if in a rare occasion still the winning condition is not met, whoever is not able to place a stone will lose the game. Each quadrant is different by colors, and you have a mountain with one different beast. You have the tiger, you have the phoenix, you have the dragon, and you have the turtle. On each quadrant, you're going to see some icons, and you have a card represented here, the red card, the blue card. Then you're going to have some circle over here. We'll discuss later what those represent. And you have these dots. These dots represent the victory points. So during your turn, what you're going to do, you're going to try to place a stone in one of the quadrant, getting the rewards that you're going to cover. And so sometimes your rewards is a card and a point. Some other times is only one of those cards. To place a stone, you need to pay a cost associated with the location you're going to go. To identify the cost of the location, you're going to see the domain you're going to place the stone into. The domain essentially is the quadrant. You have four different domains of four different colors. So for example, if I want to place it here, I need to spend the cost in cards with the black domain. And the number of cards I need to spend is based on the many rewards I'm going to get. So in this case, I'm going to get a card and a victory point. Therefore, if I want to place a stone over there, I will spend two black cards, discard them, and get a reward. So I will get this one victory point, and I will get a red card. Then, for example, goes back to my opponents. My opponent wants to place a stone over here. So we'll spend one white card to have one blue card as a reward. Throughout the games, you can get discounts. For example, if I want to place the stone over here now, I can count how many bonds I have that allow me a discount on the location. What are bonds? Essentially, how many stones of my colors are orthogonal, essentially in the same column or row where I want to place the stone. So if I kind of look at here, I have one stone over here on the same column, and I have two stones on the same row. You may wonder why I'm not counting this, because this bond discount is broken by mountains. These are mountains that cannot be moved. So I don't have another discount from these stones because this mountain breaks my bond. And so to place a stone over here, I will have to spend only one black card. So I'm going to place one stone over there. I will spend one black card to do that. And as a reward, I'm going to have 4 victory points. Additionally, you can gather the favor of the beast. These are the beasts that will give you special power. So at any given time, whoever has the majority of this location over here will control the turtle. So what happens, you will take the turtle and you will place one of your stone on top of this mountain. What it does essentially, it gives you an extra discount on this column and this row, because now you have a stone on the mountain, so you don't have that mountain breaking your bond or your discount effect. Whoever has the majority, for example, say here, as soon as you place a stone here, you get the majority of the orange domain, you will get the phoenix. when you get the Phoenix, you will draw 2 cards from the starting deck that you have generated at the beginning of the game. If you have the majority of stones in the column or in the row of the Tiger Mountain, you will get the Tiger. The Tiger will give you 2 victory points. The same thing can happen over here. So if you have the majority of stones on the column and the row, you will control the dragon here that will give you 3 victory points. However, you don't control the beast forever. So in this case, I have the blue one. The light blue has a majority of stones in the circle over here, so we'll control the mountain. But if the black player plays more stones and then surpass the white player, so in this case it's a tie, so still the beast remains to the white player. But if the black one surpasses, now he controls the turtle. These stones is removed, and the black one will place a stone over there. The same thing will happen to all the other beasts. So in this case, if the white player eventually went up with more white stones, will draw 2 cards from the deck, and the black player will have to give up 2 cards if he has it, or one, or nothing if he doesn't have cards in their hand, will have to give it back. And if you have the tiger and you lose control of the tiger, you will give the tiger to the opponent, and you will subtract 2 points from your scoring, and the opponents will get 2. And the same thing will happen to the dragons. The game, as I said, continues until you have reached 25 points, or someone cannot place any stones, and therefore will be automatically the loser. The game also comes with some advanced variant I'm not going to discuss in this video. I will let you the opportunity to explore by yourself. When I read the rules, I found it extremely simple. Although the rulebook might be a little bit more complicated because it utilizes some terms that are not really intuitive, or better, it talks about domains when it's essentially a quadrant or color, and it talks about bonds when it's row and columns for a discount. But if you overcome the terminology, the overall rule set is extremely simple. You teach it really in 5 minutes. You saw that the video is probably 7 or 8 because I speak a little bit slower and I repeat something multiple times. But definitely this is a game that can be taught extremely fast, and it plays extremely fast. The box says 20 minutes. After maybe the second play, you can bring it to 15, no problem. It's a very interesting puzzle because there's very little luck involved in the randomness of the first cards that you get. And after that is really up to you. What I like is visualize the map, visualize how the rewards and how the big scorings are located, and try to picture the order of how to place those stones, and eventually how can I counter interact any action of my opponents. Because you start really with 2 cards and you can do very little. And so the idea is how to get more discount, how to get more cards, and eventually converging those 2 juicy location with 4, 6, or 7 victory points. Those definitely make the difference. But at the same time, you have the beast. You cannot ignore the beast because those can be extremely swinging. If you lose control of a dragon, for example, you lose 3 points. The opponent needs 3 points. This is a 6 point swing, which can be enormous in a very quick game like this one. At the beginning, I was thinking perhaps there might be some analysis paralysis because of the possible combination. I'm not that good yet to visualize and imagine exactly everything, how can should unfold and how should react to their opponents. I have a rough idea right now, and I'm very happy, with the plays, and I'm very happy with the people that I play with, that we are in the same approach. But I definitely can see that you may spend a little bit more time at the beginning when the board is completely white and you see the path to victory, or the most profitable path that you want to take, and then you adjust later on, or essentially, let's see how it goes and then we'll figure out on the way. Neither of these 2 tactics will make the game slower, and I enjoyed that. This is a very interesting game. The theme, unfortunately, doesn't come alive. I would like, to have something more meaningful, but at the same time, it's a quick abstract game. And so the good look, the good cards, the cool quality cards just helps, although doesn't tell me anything about this. So this is AZURE. This is another game from Bywin Games that we want to thank for their review copy. And if you're curious about my full thoughts and if I like the game and what I think about please join me on Patreon, where I have my 360 degrees review on this game. And if you made it so far, please don't forget to check my other social media, like, subscribe this video. You know the drill. This is not your first YouTube video, am I right? Thank you very much, and see you next time. Ciao.